Hey guys, Dan Meyer here, and in this video we're going to be talking about why you should be fishing tungsten jigs for panfish, actually especially for panfish, but also walleyes and other fish when you're fishing deep water. And the biggest benefit that a tungsten jig has is that it's much denser and heavier than lead, so it's going to sink a lot faster. Now, when you're fishing deeper water for perch or crappies especially, these fish are most likely going to be in schools, and the schools of fish are going to be moving around. So by having that heavier jig and being able to get down to the school faster, that can make the difference between catching 1 or 2 fish per school or catching 4 or 5 fish per school, because a lot of times what's going to happen when that school of fish moves in, you're going to be able to catch them, especially when they're biting, pretty much as fast as you can get your bait down there. And you need to get your bait down there to hold the school's attention, because when there's nothing there, they're going to be moving on. And when you're fishing, I'm sure a lot of you have been there when you're just fishing a normal lead jig. It just takes forever to get down into deep water, especially if you're fishing 20 feet or deeper. It takes a long time to get that jig down there, whereas with the tungsten jig, it does not take very long at all. Also, another benefit to fishing the tungsten jig is because it's a little heavier, you can feel it in that deeper water. So if you're watching your electronics, you're marking fish, they're right below it but they're not biting, and you kind of just want to jiggle that bait in its face, you can actually feel the bait and you can feel it jiggling, whereas with a lead jig, you can't feel it. You don't know if you're jigging it too hard. You can see it on the graph, but it's just really helpful to just be able to feel that for a little extra feedback. Make sure that you're working that bait right to get that strike. But again, the biggest benefit is that that bait can get down there in time, so when that school is there, you can pull out more fish before the school moves on. So that is why you should be fishing tungsten jigs if you're fishing panfish. Now, if you're fishing shallower water, I still use the tungsten jig. It's not quite as important because it just does not take that long to get your bait down there. I still like the added response you get with just a little bit heavier jig, even though, you can fish the same size jig as you are with a lead jig, but that tungsten jig is just going to be so much heavier even though it's the same size. And that's just really helpful when you're jigging, so you can just feel that bait down there. So that's why you should be fishing tungsten jig. I would definitely check them out. If you don't have any, go get some, just check it out, and I think you will be sold on the tungsten jig. So that's the tip for today. If this is your first time here, I'd love to have you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do videos just like this to give you just some tips and tricks to help you catch more and bigger fish. So like, subscribe, and I will see you next time.